First of all, I want to thank God for allowing me to record this show today for you. Um, so, welcome to Boxing Taste L&G, and today I want to talk about the David Haye and the Klitschko fight. Um, there's some videos I ran across that I listened to and checked out, and some of the guys on these videos they knew what they were talking about. And some I think was a bunch of rubbish. Um, I'm gonna say that I don't think that David Hayes is gonna lose this Klitschko fight, and a lot of guys say that David Hayes is gonna lose this fight. Uh, I don't know, maybe they're racist, or um, maybe they see a weakness. Or one guy I ran across, he seen so-called a weakness, and David Hayes says he's gonna keep his left hand up. Um, Nor does Floyd Mayweather, nor does Bernard Hopkins, nor did Roy Jones at times whenever they felt like they could move their head faster than you can move your hands. Now, if David Haye goes in and he can move his head faster than Klitschko can move his hands, I think that David Haye can keep his guard down as long as he wants. I mean, there was a time in the Ricky Hatton Floyd Mayweather fight when Mayweather got hit with a left, and it kind of threw him off balance. When it threw him off balance, he gained composure, and did fought his fight, continued to do what he had to do. Um, I think that David Haye is being underestimated. Um, the Klitschko's indeed are boring fighters. I don't. You can say it either way you want to say it. They throw a bunch of jabs and they do grab, just like David Haye says. But they throw a bunch of jabs. And Klitschko, the one that David Haye is fighting anyway, he comes with this left the whole time. He'll come with the left. Jab, jab, jab. Just like David Haye says. Okay, now this guy, David Haye, has Klitschko down to a science. And I'm going to tell you how. But before I point out that point, let me take you back to another fight when Floyd Mayweather had Ricky Hatton down to a science, and you guys were saying Ricky Hatton is going to whoop Floyd Mayweather. Don't you remember what Floyd Mayweather said on the podium to the press conference? He says, this guy has no chin. He said that to you, and he kept it in your face. He kept it in your face, but yet and still you guys say, oh no, Floyd Mayweather's going to get knocked out, he's going to get whooped, he's going to get this, he's going to get that. And what happened in the fight? 10th round, he showed you that Ricky Hatton had no chin. First point. Now, David Haye, he's telling you he has Klitschko down to a science. This Klitschko he have down to a science. He's telling you this guy is going to jab, jab, grab. He jabs with the left hand to set up the right hand. So he'd come in with a power punch, sort of like Kelly Pavlik. Whenever he fights, he uses the left to, you know, set you up, because he comes in with that double punch, 1-2. Those big long arms come in with a double 1-2, and try to catch you, which he couldn't catch Bernard Hopkins with because Bernard Hopkins had him down to a science. When you know every boxer has traits. There's very few boxers that don't have traits, but Floyd Mayweather is a boxer that really don't have traits. He's one of them. Bernard Hopkins don't really have traits, He's older boxer now, but he's a really smart boxer. So he uses, he's not one dimensional. That's what I mean by they really don't have traits because they can come at you anyway. I mean, Bernard Hopkins can come at you several ways. You thinking he gonna come in like he did in Kelly Pavlik fight? He come at you a whole different way because he's not one dimensional fighter. Nor is Mayweather. These guys are not one dimensional fighters. Um, Ricky Haddon was uh, I'm not gonna say he was a one dimensional fighter. Uh, he was a good brawler. Come forward. I would like to see Ricky Haddon fight again. By the way, I just want to throw that in there because everybody keeps saying retire Ricky, not Ricky Haddon. And look, it's not a race thing as far as myself because I actually like Ricky Haddon. I don't want him to retire. I think he should fight again. I think him and Cotto would be a beautiful fight if he wanted a rematch with Pacquiao. Excuse me. I think that would even be a great fight. Um, you know, I mean, there's so many things out there. But the second point that I wanted to make as far as David Haye, I think that people are underestimating him. I really do. I'm now, you guys could be right. Maybe he get hit. Maybe he goes down. Maybe he loses. But just maybe he has Klitschko down to a science. Just maybe Klitschko. Well, that's not a maybe, but just maybe he's gonna weave those lefts that Klitschko throws. Um, you know, remember Floyd Mayweather told you the same thing about Ricky Hatton. He had Ricky Hatton down to a science. I think David Haye has Klitschko down to a science, and I think that he's gonna he's telling you what that he has him to a science. You know, um, but that's why I think it becomes a race thing. I don't. I think that David Haye, people begin to hate people like David Haye and Floyd Mayweather because they tell the truth and they do so well when they get in the ring and they um, etc. But um, to finish up, I just wanted to say that I think David Haye wins. Um, I agree that it can't be a decision. Um, it cannot be a decision. That's no good. It has to be a knockout. Have to be. They're gonna vote against David Haye anyway. But and racism still exists whether you want to believe it or not. And David Haye's British, but he is black. Regardless if you know you want to whatever you want to say it. It don't matter. He's British, but he's a black British person. Um, Floyd Mayweather is so-called American, but he's a black American. You know, that you know who won't lead. There's racism everywhere, um, but it's not powerful than God. The thing that I also want to make um, known in this last moment, when it comes down to David Haye, I think that his speed and his ability and his motivation, drive, determination. I think all that's going to play a factor. I think one thing that you guys are underestimating is David Haye has the ability to come in and has a beautiful, beautiful straight jab that lands on uh, Klitschko's chin. It will knock Klitschko out. Um, your boy Mike, I said it. Shouts out to 17 Brando and Slick Southpaw, all my other subscribers. Hey, got love for y'all whether you hate me or not. God bless you and be tuned in for the next show. Subscribe, rate. Y'all know what it is.